Hey, it's Craig Tripp with Anchor Foundation Repair, and I'm here to help you with a problem that I don't consider much of a problem. It is simply called corner pop. I'm willing to bet that you went on Google or something similar and typed in corner pop into the search column. Maybe it was, what is corner pop? Or how bad is corner pop for my foundation? Or how do I fix corner pop? Any flavor of corner pop, and you probably came up with, by the power of Google, our top rated article right here. So when you click on it, you come to this, and it kind of cues you in on what is corner pop and is it a foundation problem for my home? I feel that for 99% of the homes out there, it's not a structural problem at all. It really comes down to the difference in heating between the brick veneer that you have and the concrete beam that you have, as well as likely some missing material or an installation error in the building of your home. Matter of fact, I never see corner pop on a home with siding because the problem doesn't exist in homes like that, which also confirms my view that for 99% of the homes out there, corner pop is not a structural concern. So I want to get that out of the way first. It is, if it's not a structural concern, perhaps it's a cosmetic or an aesthetic concern for you in your home. And that's okay. That's still something that you might want to have fixed. And I'm here to give you a little bit of guidance on how you might want to go about that. It's not a service that we do. It's not something that we do for homes here because we're focused on big problems for homes that are a structural concern. So as you read this article, it'll help cue you in exactly what I'm talking about here. But if you want to fix this, you could probably do it on your own. Something that you might want to be familiar with or you might want to search next is non-shrink grout. These options that come up when you just do a simple Google search are all great options. We've used Sackcrete and we used the Quickcrete variety in the past. It's a simple non-shrink grout. It's not drastically different than any other cement-based product that you would use. The key component when you're doing this is that for most situations, you don't want a big, thick, heavy piece of new concrete going in because that's going to fail that much sooner. So you want something lightweight with more cement, maybe a little bit of sand mixed as the aggregate, but certainly not the bigger, thicker pebbles that you would be used to in new flat work or new concrete construction in or around your home. So that's the first thing to be aware of. Now, if it's a really big cutout or big hunk of corner that is popped out or is missing on your slab, then the best thing to do would be to drill some holes in that slab and tap in very thin 1/4 inch pencil rod with some type of support just to give it a little bit of structure for all that grout to stick to. If you have to replace a really big section, you're going to have a hard time doing it without that reinforcement on the inside. You could get really sophisticated and crazy and build up some elaborate wire, welded wire, chicken wire, mesh components, but I don't think in the end it's going to give you that much value add, and you've still got to figure out a way to attach it to the slab. That's where that dialed in pencil rod, 1/4 inch or so, will really do wonders for you. The next thing you want to be aware of to use those products with the longest term effect would be to use a concrete grade adhesive on the outside. You're going to want to chip off and break out all that corner that is missing from that slab. Anything that's loose, you want to get rid of it so you can get to something that's sturdy. You're going to hit it with a wire brush, take out all the dirt, hit it with a hose, hit it with another wire brush, get that surface as clean as you can, and essentially follow the instructions that are going to be in any one of these products here. Again, in the past, we've used Sackcrete. We've also used the Quickcrete variety. It's as simple as painting on with the paintbrush that adhesive on that concrete beam, let it get just a little bit tacky, and when that's ready, again, follow the instructions, not my advice, then with confidence, you can put that non-shrink grout up. And if you do those things, those are the best opportunity for you to, again, not address a structural concern. It's just an aesthetic concern for you and your home, but it's going to make it look a little bit better when that concrete dries and gets the same color consistency of your original concrete beam. You might be protecting a little bit the rebar inside if it's exposed, But really, this is about you increasing the curb appeal on your home, maybe, or you just in bringing more satisfaction to you in the way your home looks. So that's the guidance that I would give you, especially if you don't live local to us. And again, we don't do this, but it is something that I know several local companies in the Brazos Valley do. This here is a recommendation. The link is below for our best BCS contractors for masonry and concrete patchwork. You're going to see names and numbers of these guys, their companies, what they're capable of doing, how long they've been in business, and what they focus on. And every one of them, I promise you, is more than capable of getting corner pop addressed. If you don't want to go the DIY route and you want to hire out, these are great contractors to track down. I hope that's been helpful for you. Thank you for reaching out. I'm sorry we can't help you anymore, but I know with this information, you're off to a good start on getting your problems solved like you like around your home.